good morning. You're tuned into CFRC 101.9 FM, cfrc.ca. I'm your host, Rue. We're listening to the CFRC live sessions, and we've got a very special guest in studio today. Seth from the Backsteps is joining us today, but it's just you today. You've come here solo.
I have. Yeah. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah.
So this is a sort of new era for you. It's you're not performing as the Backsteps today. You've come here because you're doing your own solo work, and you're playing a couple of tunes for us, acoustic.
Yeah.
But tell me a bit about the project. Is it a full band thing, but not the Backsteps?
Yeah. So I originally started the project. I was the Backsteps took a little break from touring for a little bit there. Luke, our bassist, went back to school, and everybody else just kind of gets busy. So I just started writing these songs, and I actually live with our guitar player Josh, and he's producing the new EP I'm working on right now. So yeah, we just started writing some tunes together, and they kind of started as like a more like folk acoustic type thing. And that's, a lot of the music I was listening to when I was writing kind of revolved around like folk acoustic music. So that's kind of naturally what I started writing. And then a couple full band tracks kind of snuck their way in there. So yeah, for the shows I have booked, for some of them, it's just going to be me and an acoustic guitar. And then for the show we have next week at the Horseshoe in Toronto and a couple more, we're going to have like a full band just doing the same songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a new kind of project. Yeah.
So it's sort of a new page turning over, but there's still like a bit of the Backsteps energy in there. So is this your first full proper solo release?
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
this is
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
A new EP.
Thank
a
you.
Solo EP.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing themes in it that are a little bit different from maybe what the Backsteps would do. Like the Backsteps, obviously your songs are a bit more kind of like the group experience and, about, you were telling me the last time that you were here about like the songs that the band wrote while you guys were on the road, and it was like about your America trip and everything. Yep. How different is this EP?
It's pretty different if I'm being honest. There was like, when I was writing it, the goal was to try and be as open as possible and just try to kind of put everything on the table and just kind of writing what came naturally. So like when I pick up the guitar, if I was writing like a song about like, a certain person or a certain situation or a certain relationship, just letting that happen instead of trying to maybe like force myself to write something different or something I, necessarily didn't want to be writing, just having like, okay, this is how I'm feeling and this is what, this is how the song's going to come out. And I think it made for a really honest and a very, this is such a cliche thing to sound like, almost like just like a super special EP to me. So it's like, it's all very personal, and it's all, everything's like real. It's based on like certain people or certain things or events. And I think that's kind of from the people I've shown the EP to, or, the guys that helped me work on it and things like that. It's made it a really enjoyable experience, but also, it's tough to describe. I'm super proud of the EP, like lyrically, especially. I tried to focus on writing, the best lyrics I possibly could. And not to say I don't do that with the Backsteps, but again, it's a group thing, right? So you kind of people kind of chip in different ideas, but for this, it's just kind of like, all right, this is how I'm feeling, and this is me pouring my heart out in whatever way to, I don't know who to appeal to, but yeah.
Well, you sound really excited about it, and that's already a really good sign.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you feel while writing it like there were maybe parts of your writing or parts of yourself coming out that you maybe couldn't talk about in the Backsteps, or that like, doing this stuff on your own brought out something else that you hadn't maybe tapped into before? Yeah,
100%. I've always tried to write as literal as possible. And I think with this EP is just kind of taking that to like another level. And I think a lot of it was the music that I was listening to while writing this. Like I got into some different bands that I had, never really listened to. So if, like, you probably know every band I'm about to, but like Catfish and the Bottlemen was like a huge one. Sam Fender. I really got into Fontaine's DC. Like I really but I was really liking especially Sam Fender, a lot of the lyrics I was hearing, and I was like, oh, you can write like a kind of upbeat sounding song, but have the lyrics be kind of,
Like reflective, heartfelt.
reflective. Yeah, super reflective. And even like, Bob Dylan and Neil Young, and another one of my favorite songwriters is Paul Westerberg from The Replacements. And I think that's kind of like, we were practicing with the band for the show at the Horseshoe in Toronto next week, and the bassist was like, I like how we're just becoming like a knockoff Replacements. And I was like, honestly, this is what I'm feeling.
That's a compliment.
Exactly. So it kind of feels like a bunch of doors open when we started recording, and I felt super excited to be recording. Sometimes I think when you're playing in a group and you're so busy all the time, you can kind of lose that spark or that excitement. And then when I started kind of writing these songs and they started kind of flowing out, like that excitement like kicked back in, and like all the creative juices were flowing, and booking shows again. So it's been a really nice, transition.
Yeah. And you're going to play a few of the songs for us acoustic today.
Yeah.
So tell us about the first one you're playing.
The first one, working title is As We Were or As We Are. I haven't decided which one yet, but it's the first song I kind of wrote for the EP. I was sitting in my room. I'm always noodling on my guitar, and I had my guitar in my lap, and I was playing just pretty basic 2-chord song, and I just started, as most of the songs in this EP happen, I just kind of started scribbling down just different lyric ideas. And for this one, I was thinking about a particular day where I was walking around with somebody, and we were hanging out, and I remember I was really hungover, and I was like, it wasn't my day. I wasn't feeling physically well, but mentally I was so happy. So just trying to write that down and just like basically get that feeling in a song where, hey, I don't feel good, but like mentally I'm happy as I can be. So yeah.
Incredible. We'll listen to that song, and then we'll come back and talk a lot more about stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
So Seth Hunt here on CFRC.
Walk through the garden in my hometown. Wind is cold and the leaves are brown, and we're both hungover as can be. We asked if I wanted to get breakfast. I gave you a band or a necklace, and told you I won't forget this day for weeks. Four walls of your house are my favorite place to be. I've been aching for a sense of security. Get in the car and tell them drive around. I'll tell you I'm gonna leave this town. You tell me my dreams are crazy, and that's alright. You said how my dreams are made of. As you put on your makeup, it makes your face light up in city lights. Can I say a word to change your mind? I'll swear I'll change this time, I'll really try. Maybe one day we'll fall back in love, forget all about the man I was. I still like booze, but I quit the drugs, and that's all I can do.
Hey, I'm Seth, and we just listened to my new song called As We Are.
And we're here on CFRC listening to, getting a sort of sneak preview of Seth Hunt's brand new EP, debut solo EP. So tell me about getting into the studio to record it, because obviously it's different from, the Backsteps process where kind of you guys have almost learned how to work in the studio together.
Yeah.
Like you've kind of come up learning that stuff together.
Yeah. It was nice because I recorded at my house, so that
Okay.
was nice. So yeah, Josh, who plays guitar in the Backsteps, who's one of my closest friends. Him and I live together in Kingston here, and set up like a studio in our living room. And yeah, he produced and engineered and mixed and mastered the whole EP for me, and he was like just amazing at being that extra set of ears that I kind of needed. So I mean, I guess from recording with like him and I've always collaborated really well together. So that it was nice having that element of like almost like comfort there.
Yeah.
And it was super like, we're just creating something else together like we did in the Backsteps. But yeah, it was super nice. We could kind of work off our own schedule, and I feel bad for the poor guy too, because I would, I'm very impulsively always thinking of ideas, and it was nice to not have like the time or the financial commitment to a studio where you're kind of on somebody else's time and you can only throw so many ideas out there. Was this EP, it was like we'd record one day, and if I thought of a new guitar part the next day,
you could just change it.
We could just go back and change it, which was fantastic. And it also made it like a stress-free recording process. And then there was even some songs on it, like we recorded drums for one. I think we did bass for one, but then I decided like, maybe it wasn't quite where it could be. So we're just like, all right, well, let's throw it on the back burner for now. And even being able to do things like that, and it felt like I just had a lot of control over the project. And again, he was great with if I was, maybe singing a line a certain way, he was like, hey man, like, why don't you try doing it this way? And it was always like really good feedback. So that was nice. And I feel like with the recording of this EP, it was the most collaborative, oddly enough, that I've been with, like sending it to a lot of people beforehand, which is like before I would send it to like a handful of people and get a little bit of feedback. But for this, like as soon as I had the first single done, like I was sending it off to so many people just for like feedback and notes and this and that, which eventually led to more people kind of, like dipping their toes into the project a little bit, which was super cool. So a lot of Kingston bands and stuff have had their say, which was
I love
nice.
that. And them being Kingston,
Yeah.
people will have a lot of ideas, a lot of feedback, and they're open with giving it as well.
Yep. Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I think it for you guys pretty much would come from the sort of, like you said, less restrictions on when you can record. So it sounds almost like the production has basically become part of the songwriting process.
Yeah, exactly, which is cool. And again, with trying to kind of write the best lyrics I can, having the time to even go back and like change a word or a phrase, or if I'm driving one day to work and I think of a lyric that could fit really well, just shooting it over to Josh and being like, hey, like we should change this line to this and see if it works. And I don't know if you've met him. I don't know if he's ever been to the station, but he's probably the most laid back person. So he's like, yeah, whatever you want. Like we could just do that.
I think it was only you and Luke the last time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was just the two of you.
Yeah.
So he hasn't come in yet.
Not yet. No.
Maybe
no.
the next time.
Maybe the next time. Yeah, we'll get him here one day. Yeah.
For sure. So you're gonna play us a second song for this session, but what I want to know a little bit about is, like, I was listening when you were recording it, just to kind of to break the fourth wall a little bit. We do record the songs before we do the interviews, and then we splice it together like magic. But listening to the second song, I was hearing a lot more sort of like character development and like narrative stuff and story building and all of that, which is maybe a bit different from what we hear in the Backstep. So I'm curious about that second song, like to choose to write it in that way.
Yeah, with that song, it was this. So the song's called Gabriella, and it's going to be the single. It's going to come out next. I don't know when this is going to air, but February 7th, so next Friday from where we are now. And that one came like super quickly and naturally, and that was one where we recorded it, and it was one of the ones where we recorded it, and it was like
you immediately know you've got that hook, you've got that chorus.
Yeah. And like the lyrics, they just were, they came really easily. And, that was one where it was like, okay, we don't need to add anything. This song is good the way it is. And that one's like a full band song. But yeah, writing the lyrics to that one was fun and not fun, if I can be honest, because it was like, I was trying to, I wanted to write something that was about a certain person that I know. And basically trying to be like as like
Stealth about it?
stealth, but like at the same time, like if they were to hear it, they would know exactly like, oh my, come on, man, seriously. But no, so there's like a lot of kind of something I've never really done before in a song is use like quirky references or like real references almost to like, you know, there's like I don't know, introducing like met a girl from Malibu. She lives in Syracuse. It's like very literal. Like it's very like this is who she is.
But also on the other hand, to anyone who, you know, isn't involved in this world, believable fiction.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that was something I was kind of nervous about when I was writing it. But I sent it to my buddy Ryan, who's playing bass. He plays bass in a band called Pound Salt. And he's playing bass for some of the live shows coming up. And I sent it to him, and immediately he was like, I'm not in the situation of the song. But he's like, but you can still relate to the song and how somebody's feeling. Because it's like, even if that's not you 100%, it's like, okay, well, somebody's probably gone through something similar or just likes the descriptive, you know.
The Bruce Springsteen philosophy, basically.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, I heard this quote that kind of stuck with me for the writing the lyrics of the EP, and it was, if the root of the song is good, then that means the song is good. And that's kind of stuck with. So with that song, it was like, the lyrics are good, the bare bones of the song are good, let's not overcomplicate things and let's just make like a really kick-ass.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the simplest stuff sounds the best.
I agree.
And we're going to hear a stripped-down version of it right now.
Right now.
So, Seth and Gabriella here on CFRC.
Met a girl from Malibu and now she lives in Syracuse. She's just you while she's finishing her school. Her dad's a famous actor and her mom's a chiropractor. Don't ask me why she's playing the fool, because she's gonna get some money. Because guess what, buddy, that's what rich and famous people like to do. She's never gonna talk to me again, so I'll force myself to pretend that I never even liked you. Do you like my broken smile? Do you like my crooked teeth? Do you like the way I sing, the way I dance, the way I talk when you're not sitting next to me? Like a famous actor, but she can't remember his name after she's had a couple of drinks. She said it was Ewan McGregor. I said, what the hell, I've never heard that line before. Do you like my broken smile? Do you like my crooked teeth? Do you like the way I sing, the way I dance, the way I talk when you're not sitting next to me? Do you like the way I look at you when you're typecasting and I'm gaslighting to reaction, falling off the wagon, we were both still in love? Do you think about the days wasted off the years taken of a heart-shaped hole that a lot was be vacant? Do you miss the days where I was the number one? Do you like my broken smile? Do you like my crooked teeth? Do you like the way I sing, the way I dance, the way I talk when you're not sitting next to me?
I'm Seth, and that was my new song, Gabriella.
We're here live on the CFRC Live Sessions. Seth is our guest today, and you're going on tour soon as well with your new EP. Do you have a name for the EP yet?
I do not have a name for the EP yet. If you guys have any ideas, please.
Kingston is collaborative. They will reach out.
I was going to say, somebody send it to me. Yeah.
Also, tell me about the tour, because you're going sort of on a, from what I can see, like an East Coast kind of tour.
Yeah.
There are a few Canadian stops. There are also a few U.S. stops. How what do you expect from the shows?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to the Horseshoe next week, and that's like the big project tour launch kickoff thing. And I love the Horseshoe. I love playing at the Horseshoe, and they were super receptive of the whole idea. So that's gonna be like a full band, like amazing. Then going to so I grew up in Gananoque, so just right outside of Kingston. They have like this beautiful theater there called the Royal Theater. So I'm doing a show there right after the Horseshoe, where it's gonna be like acoustic, but I'm gonna have like special guests come up. So like some of my hometown friends are gonna come up and play like a song or two, and then like somebody else song or so it's gonna be like just a really fun night of having a bunch of different musicians and artists and things like that. And then, yeah, leave for the States, I think a week or two, maybe 2 weeks after, something like that. But it's going to go, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Cleveland. And I want to say we're working Washington right now, but there's still a couple things that need to be done. And then when we get back, like, we're going to announce a show up like up in Ottawa and, possibly like a Kingston date or two in there. So, yeah, that tour is just going to be, me and the acoustic guitar going through the States. Then when I get back to Canada, we're going to do like the full band.
Full band,
again,
that
and kind
makes
of
sense.
trade back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. But that's going to be fun. Yeah.
And like, this is basically also going to be your sort of debut solo on the road. So like, is it going to be different? Are you, are you going to just be out there in these new cities playing on your own? How are you feeling about it?
To be honest, I don't know if it's nerve or excitement. I think it might be a little bit of both.
It's a big moment.
It is. Yeah. And it's like, I definitely feel more comfortable with the band, with having a band on stage, because that's just how I've been doing things for
So I just
for
find
so long.
it lets you kind of, take the attention off of you sometimes, which
Yeah.
can be like, okay, if I mess up, there are three people who will catch
Exactly.
me if I fall.
Exactly. Whereas but I think with the acoustic thing, I'm more excited to kind of, have that interaction with the audience of like because the venues I'm playing aren't, they're not huge venues. So it's like I can have that one-on-one almost with the audience, which can be kind of hard to do. Where it's like kind of my goal, and even in the full band, is to kind of have that, connection with the audience. But if it's just an acoustic guitar, it's like we're sitting in like a living room together. So I think that's super cool. I'm excited to kind of, talk a little bit about like at the shows about like the songwriting process a little bit more, and kind of, again, just have that interaction with the audience. And I'm also excited to go to some cities I've never been, and I love food when I tour. So go to check out some restaurants and things like that.
Yeah, I remember your travel food blog.
I need to bring that back, I think. Yeah,
it would be good on a tour like this.
I think so. Yeah. It's funny. I did that, and then I retired it in like a weird fashion. And then I I have so many videos on my phone of like us and the band like making food and like doing dumb things, like eating at a bunch of restaurants. But yeah, it'll be back. Don't worry. It's
great. I think
We're
I'm
not
waiting
done.
for that almost as much as the tour.
Me too. Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Okay, do we have a release date for the EP?
I can give like a rough timeline. I know the first single is going to be the 7th of February, and then second one I normally do like 3 weeks after. But I'm thinking EP we're gonna shoot for April.
Okay.
Like mid-April release. That would be so like the tour is done. We have a little bit of like hype, and then we can even do like an EP release party in Kingston. That's kind of my plan. But like after the tour is over, have that momentum, and then bring it home kind of thing.
That would be a good homecoming as well.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and so we have two last songs that you're going to play us.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that's like most of the EP that you've already played for us.
Yeah. I think that's the EP, and then there's I'm doing there's one cover on the EP. Slide Away by Oasis. I love that song. It is such a good song. And we're doing it as like a full band at like the live show. But one day I was like, I had my guitar and I was kind of like playing it. And it was another one of those moments where I was like, Josh, like get a microphone and like just basically kind of like this. Like it was just like a microphone. And I just recorded one take in our living room and he put some reverb on it. But it was like a really dark and kind of ominous version of the song. And I just love that song. So we recorded it and he's like, do you want this to go on there? And I was like, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah. I mean, and again, like Noel Gallagher was another huge inspiration for some of the melodies on the EP. And, so I was like, yeah, let's just kind of give an ode to Oasis. I mean, I'm sure they would hate it. And it was, but I like the version of it. So there's that. But yeah, the other two I played are also going to be on the EP.
Mm-hmm. So. I mean, Oasis have heard BMTH's cover of Wonderwall.
Yeah.
So I think they'll definitely be able to live with your version. You guys should play it like just before the shows happen. That's happening in August, right?
Yeah. Are you going to that?
I'm going to the second night.
Yes, me too. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, and I heard it was Ryan Adams did a cover of Wonderwall. And I've heard Noel Gallagher talk about, he's like, the only version I like of Wonderwall is the Ryan Adams version of Wonderwall. And I was like,
that's so crazy.
I was like, wild. But yeah, so I hope he likes my version.
Maybe you guys will be the second version.
Maybe.
Actually, the first version of Slide Away. He's never said anything about it.
I was gonna say let's send it right to Noel when we get the clip up. Just send it to him. Yeah.
Well, we've got 2 more songs.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a bit more almost like country music on it. Tell me about the last, that's on the last song, right? Sounds a little bit more country.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. Like obviously I love punk music and things like that, but I listen to like a lot of folk music. Like I love Wilco. Like the earlier Ryan Adams records, like Heartbreaker. And I got really into Zach Bryan for a little bit there. Like his, I don't know what the record's called. It's got like Pink Skies on it. And I thought that was a really cool, almost like Americana. But then it kind of took me back to like the Eagles and things like that, where you kind of have like a rock, even like the hip, like rock kind of country twang vibe. And I recently discovered my Fleetwood Mac side, which I don't know why I've never even entertained listening to Fleetwood Mac. Nothing against them until like this past year, and I was like, I've been missing out on like so much. But no, like, so yeah, there's like kind of having that twang, and I think again, just kind of when I was like naturally writing, it was like what I was listening to. And yeah, when we recorded one of the songs that like the last 2 songs I played, that's what Josh was saying. He was like, it kind of has like a Zach Bryan or like a Wilco type of thing going on with it. And I was like, oh, that's cool with me. So yeah.
It gives your EP a little bit more depth.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
different going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the last 2 songs called?
One of them is called Caffeine and the other is called West Side Highway. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. And those are the last 2 we're gonna listen to for today. But let's recap for anybody who's listening in. Seth, you're going on tour starting on the 7th.
Yeah.
That's going to be your Toronto show. Then you've got a couple of other shows around Ontario. You're going down to the US. Singles coming out on the 7th.
Yep.
That's the first one.
Yep.
And then hopefully we'll see you when you guys do the Kingston show.
Yes, 100%. We've been in touch with like a couple different venues. So I mean, if it all goes according to plan, we'll have something right when we get back. So let's do it.
Amazing. Well, congrats again on your
Thank
debut
you so much for
EP.
having me. Appreciate it.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thanks.
West Side Highway isn't the place to fall in love, especially when you're homesick and drunk. Look in your eyes is telling me that you don't care. Let's look at the city and talk about the billionaires. Well, don't push me out, I'm the only one that's here for you. Oh. Don't leave me here, 'cause I'm wasted and confused. Oh. home. Oh, 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 please take me home. Oh, oh, home with you. The West Side Highway isn't the place to raise a kid, especially when you're poor, you're not rich. We had some fun here when you were 21. Now you wanna live in the town where I came from. Silence is so loud you wanna scream. Well, don't push me out, 'cause I'm the only one that's here for you. Oh, oh, oh. Well, don't leave me here, 'cause I'm wasted and confused. Oh, 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 please take me home. 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 Oh, oh, home with you.
Hey, my name is Seth Hunt, and you are listening to CFRC 101.9 FM.